What's up, everyone? Champ, it's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time, UFC pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, numbered event. I'm still not used to that. Islam Makhachev defends his welterweight title for the first time against Macahdo Garry. Very excited for this card. Not the best card, to be honest, but honestly, there was still going to be a lot of fun fights, and it should be an enjoyable time. And I'm very, very excited for the card, of course. Do I think it's the best betting card? I'm going to be honest. I don't think so, but we'll get into all that stuff and like things I like, bets I like, and yeah. But first, as always, we'll go over what happened last week, how we did, and it went well. I can't be too mad. The thing that really mattered for us to get through came through, which is Juliana Miller. But let's go through these fights one at a time. First fight I had to bet on Gigi Canuto against Carol Foro. I had Gigi sub decision. I didn't talk about it in the video because the fight wasn't made when I made the video. I put in the comments, like, come in the comments like saying like, okay, I think Gigi's live here, and I think like her quitting on Tough isn't as indicative of everything, and like she's gonna fight through. She's gonna fight better than she did on like that show, and like not give up as well. And that was true. That was true, and I thought it was a little too, how do you say it, like decisive in terms of determining the line, when in reality it was a close fight. And Gigi, when she got on the ground, I mean, she dominated on the ground, but Foro did a great job at just beating up Gigi on the feet. So that was a great fight. How they didn't get fight tonight, I don't know. I was better than Billy Q versus CDF, but it is what it is. And I'm not mad at the bet at all. Next fight I had a bet on Juliana Miller against Ravon Oliveira. I put a lot of money on this fight. I had money on Miller to win, just money line, as well as finish only, and if went to decision to get my money back. Miller made this look extremely easy. Ravon Oliveira is not good. Miller is not as bad as people make her out to be. She's disgusting on the ground. The striking looked the best it's ever looked. Wrestling looked pretty all right too. So she's improving. She's improving. That's honestly really good to see from her. So shout out to Juliana Miller. About what I expected. Next fight I had a bet on Manuel Souza versus Richie Miranda. I had Manuel Souza, well, money line in another parlay with something we'll talk about today, Jose Ochoa, and also him to win inside the distance, which, I mean, I feel like he kind of did fumble, but to be fair, Richie Miranda is an extremely durable and tough guy, and he really showed it. Like, I mean, I got to give props to the guy. That guy is tough. Richie Miranda just trying to dog it out, and like he had some success. Round one, he had success, but rounds 2 and 3, I mean, the damage was too much from Souza to outwork anything that Miranda did. But Souza got the job done, did more damaging shots, and Miranda was able to hang on still, even with like a dead leg and his body like getting hurt really bad. So shout out to Richie Miranda on short notice doing that, but still, Manuel Souza's pretty good. Next fight I had to bet on, just seeing the Bruno Lopez against DR Nurgazai. I had Bruno Lopez sub as well as sub or decision, so I thought those were his main paths to victory. I don't really know Bruno Lopez's approach to this fight. Like, I thought he would go for more takedown attempts. Maybe he was waiting to extend the fight more and Nurgazai to slow down and you can get takedowns. I don't know what the hell the fighting nerds told them to do, but I mean, it was just kind of like a slow kickboxing fight, which, I mean, I wasn't even that mad at, because Bruno is like not putting himself in big danger with this chin. He still got chin anyways, but like it could have been really soon, like a lot sooner, if he really went for it. But yeah, it is what it is. I wish he grappled, because I would have felt like it's okay if he got KO'd, as long as he kind of went for it. And like the worst part is, he got hurt really bad, and he got a takedown DR so easy. Like, dude, what are you doing? It's okay. Not the end of the world. Next fight I had a bet on, I believe, is the Asplund and Guilherme Pat fight. I had Pat wins in rounds 1 and 2, and I Asplund wins around 2-3. Specifically, the Asplund bet was a 2-3 KO. The Pat one was just rounds 1-2. Both lost. Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? Pat was, I mean, they were both not like bad bets in retrospect, but just both didn't even finish. Pat hurt Asplund really bad in round 2. I will say Asplund hurt Pat pretty bad in round 1 and also round 3. So So, I mean, I was kind of surprised this fight didn't finish, but I guess I got to give some credit that they're pretty tough. Aspen, that number was disgusting, though, minus 300. Ridiculous. I think a lot of people would bet on him, got bailed pretty hard. But, hey, shout out to Aspen. Still pushing that pace and getting the job done. Next fight I bet on, I believe, is Ty Miller versus Billy Goff. I had the over 0.5 just for a parlay piece. Something to put it down a little bit. I was just like, Billy Goff's just tough enough to make it like half a round, and he did. He made it even to like round 3, which is crazy because the amount of damage he took in round 2 was insane. Just eating shots and staying in the fight like that. That was crazy. Honestly, I think that fight's probably made Ty Miller look a lot better than he actually is. He's a great boxer, don't get me wrong. He can box with a lot of dudes in range, but Billy Goff's a punching bag. Most people aren't punching bags in the UFC. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's different matchups with different guys, and I think I'm probably going to be looking to fade Ty Miller going forward because I think people are going to be so high on him after this fight that the lines will be crazy. Not that Ty Miller's a bad fighter and can't win fights in the UFC, because he absolutely can. He's a good fighter, and his boxing's disgusting. It's really good, but I imagine he's going to be overvalued just from this performance looking as good as he did. So that's all I'm saying with that. Next fight to bet on, believe is Amanda Lemos versus Alexei Dainara. I had a little bet on money line, and I had a little bet on finish only. She had her in round 2. To be fair, Dainara had put her in bad spots that I thought, like, oh boy, Lemos, what are you doing? I think Dainara is really lacking in the fight IQ department, and this fight really showed it as well. And I know Lemos is too, but like Dainara as well. Like, why are you giving her her best chance to win? Why are you just swing with her on the feet? Sure, you could be like, oh, she's so courageous and she got how do you say, big courage or whatever. But I just think it's dumb. You have such an easy win condition, which other girls have exploited in the past. Why not go more towards it, especially when it was sort of working? Like, I just didn't understand it, and she got hurt because of it. So she's not to be trusted at these like big numbers, like these like minus whatever. Like it's ridiculous. So I'm not mad at the Lemos bet at all. Very happy with the finish only one, because I had a chance of coming through, but alas, it didn't. Not the end of the world. Shout out to Lemos though. Put up a good fight, even at older state, not being like as great as she was. Still pretty good though, so no shame. It's a good win by Dainara though, still. And then the next fight I bet on, Darren Elkins versus Yadir Del Val. I had Elkins decision only, and you saw why I put decision only, because he can absolutely get nuked, and I was like, I put that in Topology, like he's gonna get nuked probably, and he got nuked. But it's like, if Del Val is stupid, this fight absolutely can go decision. He can gas, and yeah, that's it. But he fought smart. There was a guillotine that was right there for him to take, and he didn't. So that's a credit to fight IQ for Yadir Del Val. You have to give all that credit in the world, because I was doubting it. I was doubting. He's like, you should keep the side in the feet, but if he's given that guillotine, I think he's gonna take it. He didn't. Credit to him, and because he didn't take it, he just put Elkins out bad right after that. So go. Maybe not a good win by Del Val, because I mean, this at the end of the day, it's still 2026 Elkins, but it's a good fight for him in terms of, hey, you showed some fight IQ. And next fight I had a bet on, Mateusz Gamrot killing Salkild. A smallish bet on Gamrot to beat Salkild. Very wrong. I think it's kind of was all downhill for the most part after Gamrot got rocked pretty bad early on the round. Although the submission he got in on the leg of Salkild. I mean, Salkild himself said, "Oh my God, that was in. That was in." So, I mean, he's like, that's there, I guess. That could have been a possible outcome. So, I'm not that mad at the bet. I mean, Salkild showed he's so good. He's deserves to be in the top 5 level. He's on that level of these guys, and yeah, he is the goods, man. There's no doubt about that. So, shout out to killing Salkild. I think he is very good. Now let's go over the rest of the fights on that card. Can pull it up right here. did pretty all right. 8-12. The rest of the fights, Yanni Vasquez, super short notice, not the biggest guy. He hurts Miles Johns. Miles Johns is a walking red flag. I said it outright in my video when he was fighting Rosas. I thought it was just too much for Yanni, because I just don't think much of Yanni at all. And just gets cracked by Johns and put out pretty quickly. Is what it is. Montana beats Sutherland. I was on Montana because I just like this Sutherland guy is terrible. He is awful. He's not good. He is not good. And I'll take him against a guy who looks sort of in shape and maybe has a grappling advantage. And he did. He absolutely did. He took down Sutherland, and I mean, it was pretty easy. I can't even lie. He's not good. I don't think this Montana guy is like specifically like any sort of good, but just Sutherland is just awful. Like that tie fight against Tuivasa for Sutherland is more an indictment on Ty than like Sutherland being any sort of good. So yeah, Sutherland terrible. Next fight, I believe is Billy Q versus Diego Ferreira. Diego wins rounds 1 and 2. I will say CDF looked pretty bad himself, in my opinion, this fight. I didn't like the looks I was seeing from him, so it's like I think he himself is kind of done. Billy Q, I mean, it's tough. He's getting to Diego as the fight went on, but not enough. It is what it is. Like it was kind of what I expected, like a war, something like that. So, yep, that is that for my picks. Let's go over the next card, not Contender Series. If you want a free parlay piece, Bilal Hassan, and make no money from it. Just kidding. Don't actually do that. Although, I mean, it'll probably be fine, to be honest. UFC 330. Let's get into it. Very excited for this card. Orobai versus Jeremiah Wells. I think Orobai should be fine. I get a little worried because I have this like some weird feeling about this fight. It's not. I can't back it with anything like legit. I mean, I honestly do think Orobai probably just runs through him and makes it look easy. Wells has like sneaky good jiu-jitsu. Or probably won't matter against Orobai. Wells does hit really hard. Probably won't matter because Orobai is going to shoot within 30 seconds as well. So I mean, Orobai probably should be fine. So there's not much to say. He's going to wrestle Wells, and Wells is probably not going to have anything too much off his back, especially considering like his last fight against Garimbo. That was not really a great look for Wells. Even with the win on that fight, like, it's not a great win. I guess he's a Philly guy, so the power of Philadelphia compels Jeremiah Wells somehow. He trains with like Sean Brady and those folks, but probably not. Orobai should probably be fine. Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Weird fight. I'm going to go Magny. I just don't think much of Brahimaj, to be honest. Sure, I get the logic. Oh, Magny's susceptible. He's older. He's susceptible to getting hurt. He's susceptible to chokes, like front chokes. And like Brahimaj gets those front chokes. He's nasty. I get that. But at the same time, I just don't rate Brahimaj. And I think he's just too much of a a guy who just dependent on finishes. And he's got 7.5 minutes to do it. It's not great. And especially against a guy like Magny, who is known for breaking people as fights go on. You can give multiple examples of that in like recent time. Why am I forgetting? I mean, I can just look right here. Jake Matthews. You can argue that's a little bit like something to do with like the weird stoppage, but then the fight resumed. You could say that. ZDS. I mean, ZDS was beating up Magny and then fell off a cliff. Mike Malott, another good example where it just falls off a cliff. Magny does that to like a lot of dudes, and like he slows people down, and Ramiz does slow down. He's a guy who slows down very often. So am I really like willing to back Magny here? I don't really want to be honest, unless the line gets stupid, which I mean, perhaps potentially it does. Let me look at the line. Let me look at this line if my book would load. Please load. There we go. Plus 105. we might be getting there to maybe make like a bet. It wouldn't be a big bet though. I don't want to trust like how old is Magny now? 39-year-old Magny. I don't want to trust it like that. But like this line is kind of wild to me. And honestly, probably better live bet. Like bet Magny halfway through round 1. Because like after round 1's over, I mean, I think everyone knows with Ramiz Brahimaj, like this guy is like falls off a cliff. Like I said, everyone knows that. The betting line's probably privy to that. But halfway through round 1, where you get done with half the danger, you have to live with the other half of the danger and like live with the sweat to get like maybe a better line. But yeah, I mean, also something worth mentioning. Magny also like pretty big measurement advantage with being 6'3", Brahimaj 5'3", 80-inch reach, 72-inch reach. Something else mentioned, Brahimaj does have good leg kicks, and so you could probably imagine he's gonna try and leg kick Magny. Magny, unless you're Macahdo Garry, Magny usually takes them and is able to go forward and be fine. But I think it's worth mentioning because that is a tool that can be used against Magny, and Brahimaj does have a pretty nice kicks, to be honest. But I just feel like Magny is gonna be long and lanky. He's gonna really drown Brahimaj, and towards the end of round 2, he's gonna fade as he always does. In round 3, he's just gonna be like done and just survive because he's pretty freaking durable, to be fair to Brahimaj. But yeah, I think Magny gets the job done. An older Magny. Rafael Tobias versus Lucas Fernando. Interesting fight. I was thinking like, oh, this is Fernando easy when I first saw this, and when I got done taping this fight, I was like, well, I'm still gonna pick Fernando, and I'll tell you why. But dude, there's no way you can bet on Fernando with these odds. These odds are insane. They're stupid. They're stupid. I mean, he's not minus 300 anymore. He was like not long ago, but he's still like minus 290. It's ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. Well, let me tell you why Fernando is going to win, in my opinion. Range management, speed, it's difference on the feet. Fernando is nasty on the feet. He keeps good distance management. Tobias is notably slow. He is slow as a snail. This guy's one of the slowest guys on the roster. This guy is slow as nails. That's not snail. Slow as a snail. And Fernando is nasty on the striking. He's got a pretty clear striking advantage. And he's a way faster guy here. So, I mean, that's why I'm going with Fernando to win the fight. But I would definitely advise against betting this guy. And let me tell you why. Fernando is hittable himself. A guy as slow as Tobias, while he's going to be hit a bunch probably, and he's defensively not the best. His chin isn't the best either, worth mentioning. Fernando can get landed on. He absolutely can get landed on the feet. Tobias does carry some power, so worth mentioning. The main thing, though, grappling. There's a big hole for Fernando, in my opinion. Because I think Tobias, like, he showed grappling holes against both Makhachev, who I don't think is very much good at all. When he was at 185, he's at 205 now. And when he fought Cesar Almeida, Cesar Almeida out grappling you was crazy. That's bad. And one of the biggest problems with Lucas Fernando on the ground is he closes his guard. He loves to close his guard and just stay on his back and not really get up much. That's a pretty clear path to victory for Tobias. Tobias can absolutely get 2 takedowns and that be the fight. That's the fight, because he's going to be on top, just do a little bit. There's a jiu-jitsu advantage for Tobias as well. He's very young as well, so potential to get better as well. Lost to DR is aging better. I still don't think DR is that good. He looked terrible in that DR fight, which is essentially why the line was what it was. But like, I mean, that DR's all right, I guess. I don't think he's that good still, but even then, it's like it's not as bad of a loss as it's making out to be. It's like, why can't he get this fight to the ground and kind of hold down Fernando, if not even get a sub? I just think the line's very wide, and if it's anyone to bet, it's Tobias. Probably better in the past, but like if the line goes crazy again, I'll be interested in some Tobias. But yeah, or maybe I just thought about this in my head. Let me go on DraftKings and do they have a line on this right now? I have to look at this because this only came into my head, and I don't hate the look, and it could be something all right odds wise. Like decision only Tobias. Do they even have odds on this? Where is this? They don't even have odds on this fight in DraftKings. What are we doing? Whatever. The Bet Online probably has odds though for stuff like this. For finish only. But I wouldn't want finish only Tobias because again his chin's not the best and he's gonna get hit. He's definitely gonna get hit. I am picking Fernando to win, but yeah, he's definitely not the side. Lucas Fernando, Rafa Tobias, minus 300 here. Okay, you have more odds here. I mean, Tobias like by points plus 650 is not terrible. Tobias by sub plus 600. I'm surprised that's what it is. Plus 3.5 Tobias is not bad. Plus 130. I don't think that's terrible. Especially because he can just win around pretty easily if he gets the fight on the ground. So that's actually not that bad. But relying on his chin, a little scary, I will say. But yeah. I wish DraftKings had odds on that. I mean, let me refresh real quick. Just a real quick refresh. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have odds on this fight. But yeah, I think maybe a decision only Rafael Tobias could be interesting because if his chin's not letting him down and this fight does go to distance, it's very possible he gets like a few takedowns and wins the fight. So yeah. Vicente Luque versus Tresean Gore. I'm going Gore here. And honestly, I'm going to go by KO. I know he loves his guillotine. He can get the guillotine on Luque. I absolutely see that. I like Gore in this spot because I don't think the Gastelum fight changes anything. Like, I still think Vicente Luque is kind of done. As sad as that makes me to say. Gore, unlike Gastelum, is like a true middleweight. Like this guy's always been a middleweight. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. Let me actually look this up to be sure. To my knowledge, ever since Ultimate Fighter, at least he's always been a middleweight. And he's had growing pains in the UFC because he's always been so how do you say it? He's been a light heavyweight. Yeah, he's never made a welterweight before. I didn't think so either. Let's see here. But yeah, he's a big guy. Event page being annoying right now. He's always been a big guy, and even though he's not like the biggest guy in terms of like frame, but like he's packing more to him. Although he's bigger, he's taller than Luque, although Luque has a little bit of a range advantage. Luque's older as well, and Luque, that Gastelum fight was such a bad look when it was going on. Obviously, hits the uppercut, subs Gastelum like that, nice. But before then, I mean, Gastelum was cooking him. He was cooking him pretty bad, and I don't think that version of Gastelum is like that great, to be honest. So I don't think that's the best of looks. This fight is a little weird in the sense that I don't really know how either guy is going to approach this because it's weird. Gore is someone who kind of fights the fight he's given, which is not something I'm that crazy about. I like that much, but he does do that. Example, Rodolfo Vieira. He's kind of just staring at Rodolfo, not throwing much at all, and he's getting jab. But on the converse, conversely, Marco Tulio and Asma Bakoa fight, those guys are extremely aggressive and just come at Gore nonstop. And Gore actually does throw his hands, and he hurts both guys. He didn't win this Tulio fight, but he hurt him. He won this Asma Bakoa fight, and he broke Bakoa. Something also worth mentioning, Gore has really good takedown defense. And that's partially to do with him, like, maybe not throwing as much as other dudes. He cracks, though. He hits hard. Tresean Gore. And, I mean, also a big difference, the dog mentality at this point. Luque is not the same as he was ever since that Jeff Neal fight. He's not been the same since that fight. And Gore, we've never seen him, like once he gets hurt, like he's gonna try and stay in it. Bakoev dropped him bad. He gets back up and finds his way back into the fight, back against the wall in that fight. Gore's a dog, man. And he's more likely to fight for your money, and I think that you can trust that more. Training at the MMA lab, a good gym, Luque, I think he is who he is now, and he's not going to change and get any better. If not, more likely he's going to get worse, if anything. I like Gore here. I think he can hurt Luque. And I couldn't even finish my thought process why I thought this fight was weird. Well, Gore, he goes ahead and like takes the fights he's given. I don't know what the hell Luque's going to give me, because Luque in the past used to like go in, pressure, non-stop pressure, go hard, punch, hard punch, hard punch, hard punch. Now, like, all of a sudden, he's like more of like counter and like going in the back foot. Like, it could be weird. I don't know who's going to be pressuring here. I don't know, because usually Gore's on the back foot himself, but maybe Gore can be on the front foot. And we've seen him in the front foot before, and like Tough, for instance, he was just fine against Brian Battle. He lost that fight, but like you want to round up Brian Battle, which is not bad. Brian Battle always been a pretty good fighter. So that's what I mean by it could be like a little weird, because like I don't really know what to expect in that, but whatever it is, I do favor Gore at the end of the day. And I just, it's hard to back Luque at this point in his career. I think he's honestly done. So yeah, give me Tresean Gore. I like him to win in the spot. Dante Johnson versus Eric Makhachev. Interesting fight. Let me see DraftKings. I want to see a specific odds on this. If they have it. If they may have to. Which they might not. They don't. Very sad. I was looking at Eric Makhachev decision only. But I'm not picking that. I'm picking Dante Johnson by KO. But if I'm being honest, I think Makhanechev's the better fighter. It's just Makhanechev's chin. It's just untrustworthy, man. I think they made this fight on purpose, because Dante Johnson does hit hard. He's not great. I don't think this guy's anything very good at all. But I just think he finds the button on Eric Makhachev. Eric Makhachev is just so hittable. I need to see the odds on the Dante Johnson KO, because if he's winning this fight, it's by KO, in my opinion. If it goes decision, you cannot trust this guy. Plus 125. That's the way. That's the way. Well, I wonder what's ITD. Out of curiosity. Minus 115. Ugh. But I think this fight ends by KO, though. I think he KOs Eric Makhachev. Makhachev is still a better fighter, though. He's going to be probably winning minutes against Dante Johnson, unless Dante Johnson like drops him and like that's around, right? He's just a better fighter, but I just think the physicality is going to be a little bit too much, and athleticism is going to be able to get to Makhachev and land on him and land flush enough to make him fall. And if we're being honest about Makhachev, he's getting hurt in almost all of these fights. I don't exactly remember in the Brundage fight if he did get hurt or not, but every other fight, Ruziboyev hurt, Slushagayev hurt, Rodolfo Vieira hurt. Like, it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust his chin, because he gets hurt so often. And it's a guy like Dante Johnson does hit hard enough to really probably finish him. So I like Dante Johnson by KO. I think I'm probably going to end up with something on it. Probably nothing too crazy, because again, I don't trust this guy like that. I think maybe you could hedge with Makhachev decision only, but perhaps I think that might be an all right line as well. But he really should KO here, in my opinion. So yeah, I like Dante Johnson here, even though I don't think he's that good at all. And if it goes to decision, I lean Makhachev. Just saying that out loud. I would definitely not be betting his money line. His money line's stupid, in my opinion. Jalen Turner versus Cal Fernandez. I like Jalen Turner a lot here. I haven't bet. Oops, not. I think Cal is not good. I think he's a fraud, to be honest with you. Let's look at his wins. Harry Hardwick on super short notice. I'm not going to rate that highly. I'm not going to do that. Guram Kutateledze. This is the ghost of Guram, who I don't know how he didn't get finished this fight. How did Cal let this guy survive that fight? It ridiculous, because he was done multiple times, many points in that fight. Muhammad Yahya, literally one of the worst to ever do it. And he got like grappled by Chikasi. Jalen Turner is just a better fighter everywhere besides maybe just pure leg kicks, in all honesty. Cal Fernandez's boxing, I'm being honest, is kind of abysmal. It's hands low and just kind of like winging shots. It's not good. His leg kicks are very good. His kicks are pretty good. But besides that, what's there to say? Jalen Turner just fought someone with like that. I know it's the ghost of Barboza. Barboza's like, he is done. But in the sense that, like, Barboza still has really good leg kicks and something I have to worry about. I like Jalen Turner's leg kick defense in that fight. And he's like, okay, keep it close, keep it close. And Edson Barboza has better boxing than Cali Fernandez, has better wrestling defense than Cali Fernandez. I don't think Cali Fernandez has proven to me that he's got legit takedown defense against Guram. Like, he did better in that fight, sure, but I still think it's just Guram being super washed more than anything. Now he's getting Jalen Turner, who's still pretty young, big size advantage, not big reach advantage, but he's got a reach advantage here. That's huge for Jalen Turner, and yeah, I think he's going to be able to close the distance, close the distance, be smart dealing with the leg kicks, and if he wanted to, he can absolutely grapple Cali Fernandez and probably even sub him. I think that's the easiest path to victory, but I think he's also able to keep this fight on the feet and find the boxing range and beat Cal Fernandez in the boxing range. Obviously, the thing to worry about Jalen Turner, he's a flake. He's always been a flake. It's kind of hard to trust him. I would not suggest putting big money in Turner. But I at this line, though, against a guy who I just think is nowhere near as good as Jalen Turner, I have to bet it. I think Jalen's going to smoke him. I think he makes it look pretty easy. I think people are way too high on Cal Fernandez for honestly no good reason, in my opinion. Just leg kicks. All other parts of his game, Jalen Turner blows him out, in my opinion. I'd be surprised if he loses this fight. So, yep, give me Jalen Turner. I think he gets the job done. Chidi Njokuani versus Joel Alvarez. This is a fight that's kind of crazy. Dude, what? How? Look, I'm going Alvarez by sub, but that's insane. That is insane. No way, 4%. Let me tell you why that's crazy. Look, I'm going Joel Alvarez because I do think he's going to find a way somehow to get this fight to the ground. Gets the fight to the ground. He's very good submissions, and I think he can get a sub. But Chidi's absolutely the betting side. I'm not that interested in betting it, but if I had to bet anything, it's 100% Chidi Njokuani, because Chidi is huge for the weight class. Just like Joel Alvarez was huge for 155, Chidi is huge for 170. Former 185er, not small at 185 either. He's ginormous, and he's got a reach advantage against Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez is not used to fighting dudes his size at all, even at welterweight. Like, this is going to be I think it's going to be a big problem for Joel, to be honest with you. It's going to cause problems for Joel, and it's like, ooh, geez. And Chidi's striking is disgusting. He's going to be able to land on Joel. Joel can get landed on. Absolutely. Chidi's disgusting. It's just like a random grappling exchange just can finish the fight with Chidi, which is the thing it sucks for him. He could land a shot on Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez is on super short notice. Chidi versus Jeff Neal was the original fight, but Jeff Neal pulled out. I think that was also like a short notice fight that was added onto this card, but now Joel's even more short notice. Chidi's a bad man. He's a bad man, Chidi Njokuani. I'm definitely not betting against him. He is older. I get it. The weight cut's probably tough. I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden he misses weight and is like, he looks terrible on the scales. It's possible. But I mean, I think Chidi on the feet has a possible chance to absolutely sleep Joel Alvarez. That's a live possibility. But I'm going with Joel Alvarez by sub. I think he finds some like back take, Jake Matthews-esque sort of thing. Also, I mean, shout out to Chidi Njokuani's durability, being able to take that whole fight with Carlos Leal. That was insane. And he hurt him, or not hurt him, but like he cracked him a bunch with really good shots that most guys don't take. But Jake Matthews said in this fight, I got lucky. I got lucky that this fight went as easy as it did. I don't think it's going to be as easy for Joel Alvarez. So, yep. Chidi's aside betting wise, but I think Joel wins. Edson Barboza versus Esman Ribovics. How does Chidi have less of a big percentage than Edson? Make sense. Ribovics is going to murder Edson Barboza, as sad as it makes me to say. Um, this is shameless matchmaking, if I'm honest. I, I have Esteban Rebovic's bet. I have him parlayed with someone else, and I have them parlayed for kind of the exact same reason in both their matchups. Rebovic's like at the number is nasty because he's kind of volatile in how he fights. He fights really recklessly. He's like, oh, I'm gonna try and put your lights out, and he leaves himself open. But he has in this matchup here, the difference is the durability. Esteban's durability is so much better than Edson Barboza's durability at 40 years of age. This probably could be a retirement fight. Rebovich is going to be on him, pressuring him. Barboza's cardio is not the same anymore. I'm not crazy about him at 155 at this point. I'm crazy about him fighting at all at this point. He took insane damage against Jalen Turner. I mean, in all these fights, Lerone Murphy, not close, I guess. Even Sodiq Yusuff, he got hurt really bad. Esteban Rebovich is going to land big on Edson Barboza and probably hurt him really bad. I like Rebovich a lot here, and yeah, I think this is like a slam dunk. If you want the parlay piece of the card, it's Esteban Rebovich. I think you can trust him more than, well, honestly, some of the other guys like Orobai or Fernando or Dante Johnson, even like Joel Alvarez for sure. This is the guy to trust if you want like a parlay piece, in my opinion. So I like Rebovich a lot here. Mansour Abdul Malik, Dustin Stoltzfus. Speaking of a parlay piece I don't trust, Mansour Abdul Malik, I think gets a job done. I think he gets Dustin out of there. Dustin is just so abysmal. I don't think much of Mansour either. Really nice guy though. I met him in person. Very nice guy. I'm rooting for him. But I'm just, what's there to be impressed by? He's not been that impressive in any of his fights besides Tricoli, but like it's Tricoli. I mean, not much to say there. I mean, it's just it's weird because Mansour is like he's got all the hardware in the world, but he's like he fights technically. He tries to fight technically when like really you could just go ham and get these dudes like dealt with. Like use your capabilities, what they're supposed to be, right? I have to go Mansour because I think so low of Dustin Stoltzfus. He's like sure Stoltzfus is tough, but like what is he really that good at? I still can't believe he KO'd Marc-Andre Barriault. That's not a real result to me. Like that's just complete meme. No way that happened. He's got some nice submissions and stuff like that, but it's that great. Mansour will be probably just fine. I get why Mansour is this price, but he's just so hard to trust because he always lets you down. Always. So, yeah, I'm not that interested in trusting Mansour Abdul Malik, but he's aside. I mean, maybe if there's stupid lines on him, like his like finish props, maybe, because he really should be finishing this fight. I want to trust the under 1.5, though. Hell no. Hell no. But it's probably going to be disgusting. Plus 100 KO. It's interesting. That's actually not too bad. I was expecting way worse, to be honest. Plus 100 KO is interesting. Maybe I'm do something with that, but maybe not. Fight ends by KO minus 120 is interesting-ish. Okay. I'm done really thinking about this fight. I'm probably not going to have anything on this fight. I just don't trust Mansour at all, but he should get the job done. Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa. I said I parlayed Esteban Rebovich with someone earlier. This is the guy, Jose Ochoa. I like him a good amount here, and I think gets a job done against Charles Johnson. Again, it's a similar breakdown where it's like Jose Ochoa kind of fights a little reckless, a little crazy, but there's a huge durability edge. Charles Johnson's durability is falling. As sad as it makes me to say, I love Charles Johnson. He is still pretty good, but like the Perez fight was so bad, getting hurt as bad as he did. The Bruno Silva fight arguably could have lost. Not a great look. Asyama Bayev, he looked terrible there, and getting like beat on the feet by Asu too, which is a little wild. Jose Ochoa is going to be coming at Charles Johnson nonstop with insane volume. He's going to be able to take very likely most of the shots CJ's throwing at him, and he can keep up an insane pace with Charles Johnson, no problem at all. And he's got the ability to take this fight to the ground as well. Jose Cho is sub game. Ooh, it's low key nice. It's low key nice. Not like he's some amazing sub artist. He's more a guy on the feet, of course, but he'll snatch it up if he sees it. And absolutely can be how he wins this fight. Oh, but actually, that reminds me, because I do want to look at specific odds on this for Ochoa. I do need to see this. The finish only. I need to see if this is like a playable line. Finish only. Oh, minus 400. Never mind. They know. They know. Yeah. I was thinking like, oh, if they give me minus 200 like they did against Clayton Carpenter. No. I think Jose Joel gets a finish here, though. I do. I actually am curious about those finish props as well, though. Because that could be interesting. Just to take a quick look. Fight doesn't go as minus 110. Ochoa. I want Ochoa ITD. Or minus 3.5 is interesting. Minus 155. Plus 120 inside the distance. We might be talking. But yeah, I already have Jose Ochoa parlayed anyways. I think it's a job done. I think volume is going to be key. I think he hits a lot harder than Johnson does at this point. And Johnson's waning in durability too. So yeah, I like Ochoa. Also, something worth mentioning. Train to shoot the box. Loss of Alan Nascimento. It can go either way, where it helps a fighter or hurts a fighter. I think it's going to probably help. I'm guessing though. I don't know. I only guess that because Shoot the Box is such a tight knit gym, and I think they use that stuff to make them like more like, do it for Alan, do it for you got this, bro. So I'm going with that. I think Jose Joe is going to be fueled by that and go ahead and win. Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. Excited for this fight. This is probably my most anticipated fight for the card. Finally, a women's title fight in freaking this year. I've been waiting. Very excited for this one. There we go. That's weird. Let me tell you what. I'm going with an upset. Give me Jillian Robertson to get the job done against Mackenzie Dern. I'm going with what Robertson's saying this week, round 3 TKO or whatever. I think it's gonna be like doctor stoppage. And let me tell you why I'm going Robertson in this fight. I have a lot to say about this one. Probably expect like a pretty long breakdown for this. First off, I don't think Mackenzie Dern's that great. I'll say both these girls have been kind of gifted like pretty nice matchups for the most part, especially Jillian. I will say that. She's like Polyana Viana, that's a free matchup. Watterson, at the time it wasn't viewed as that, but in my eyes it was. It was like a completely like checked out Watterson. Still, I mean, to be fair to Watterson, she had good takedown defense before this fight, so I guess you can maybe credit that to Jillian being improved still. Pinheiro, very not good in my opinion. Marina Rodriguez, I did better than Mackenzie Dern did. And then Amanda Lemos did better than Mackenzie Dern did. Worth mentioning. But again, those are like nice style matchups for Jillian Robertson. It's supposed to be a nice matchup for Mackenzie Dern, even though she lost those fights. While Mackenzie Dern, I mean, losing to Andrade, Andrade got submitted by so many times. They were trying to be nice to Dern there. Lemos, same thing, getting taken down, stuff like that. Loopy, not as nice, of course. And as well, I would say Hebos, not as nice. But Verna was very nice for a championship fight. They were being extremely generous in Mackenzie Dern to give her that shot and to give her Verna, a girl she already beat. And like, it's a really difficult stylistic fight for Verna. That Verna fight, I have things to bring up about that because I think Jillian's a tougher matchup than Verna is. And I know a lot of people disagree with me, but let me tell you why. 5 rounds. I think Jillian's not gone 5 rounds. Let me check Tapology, actually, because let me check real quick on Jillian. She's not gone 5 rounds in the UFC. I know that for sure. But I'm just curious about like previous, like show all details. Yeah. Are any 5 rounders in here? I mean, I doubt they even gone the distance for the most part. 3x3, 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 3x3. Yeah, 3x5, 3x5, 2x5, 3x5. Yeah, no, she's not gone 5. Not gone 5. So that's something to worry about. I think that's a valid concern. But you can't convince me that Jillian Robertson has worse cardio than Verna Jandiroba, who's always been known for lacking in the cardio department. In that fight against Mackenzie Dern, she slowed down very badly. She always slows down in rounds 3. Verna Jandiroba always happens, and Jillian, I know for a fact she's going to have better cardio than her and be able to push through better than Jandiroba. I think that's I feel very confident about that. Second thing, Jillian Robertson's bigger than Jandiroba. Let me look up Jandiroba's Verna Jandiroba. Here we go. Jandiroba's 5'3" with a 64-inch reach, right? Jillian 5'5", 63-inch reach, right? So, I mean, I guess Verna has a longer reach, but the height does help with the reach, of course. I think that does play like a bigger factor and stuff like that. Jillian also used to fighting bigger girls at flyweight previously before coming back down to strawweight, where she's found this more success because she's more physical in this weight class. I do think that helps. I think her being used to fighting flyweights helps her, because Mackenzie Dern's not necessarily a tiny strawweight. Not the biggest, though. I don't think she's necessarily like as big as like people say she is as well. Another thing, damage. This is like the biggest key thing. First off, damage on the feet. I know a lot of people like really don't rate Jillian Robertson's striking. I get it. I get it. I will say, watch back Michelle Watterson. I know it's Michelle Watterson, like at that point, but my point more so is like the technique of Jillian Robertson on the feet has gotten a lot better, and like she could throw a punch. She used to not be able to do that, by the way. She used to not be able to, but that fight, that was how many years ago? Like 2 years ago. She can keep making improvements, stuff like that. She looked a lot better on the feet, like not like she had zero idea what was going on in the feet. Right. And even like Pinheiro, sure, she got the better of the exchanges on the feet as well, but okay-ish on the feet, right? Well, obviously Jillian Robertson way better on the ground. But I bring that up because Jandiroba is god-awful in the striking. You can't convince me that Jandiroba is better striking than Jillian Robertson. I just don't believe that, because Verna has no idea how to throw a punch. Like, this is flyweight Jillian Robertson basically in striking, but probably even worse. And she has no power at all. She can't hurt a fly, Jandiroba. Great jiu-jitsu, don't get me wrong, but like besides that, she's got no way of really hurting people. And on the ground, the difference between them is damage. Jillian Robertson, like Jandiroba in that Dern fight, you'll see her do like little hammer fists and stuff like that. Jillian Robertson is going to try and put Mackenzie Dern's face through the canvas with elbows. She's going to make damage happen. That's the biggest difference, I think, for me, and why I think it's a big factor in this fight. Because, I mean, did you watch that Jandiroba fight? Like, Dern's face was freaking messed up. Dern's a dog. I'm not going to take that away from her. Jillian's a dog too, though. I wouldn't be surprised and that sort of thing. Also something worth mentioning. I know, I'm going to say this first. I think this fight's going to be a battle of who gets top position. Who gets top position and what they do with top position. I don't think this fight's going to be so much of they're both grapplers, they're going to stand and bang. I don't think that's going to be much the case. Maybe for like a round or two. But I think this fight's going to be on the ground. And I think it's going to be determined who gets top position. Jillian Robertson needs to get top position in this fight. Absolutely. I absolutely do think so. And, well, I'm picking her. I think she does. And that's the key thing for this fight. Mackenzie Dern is, I mean, actually, I would say both these girls are willing to, like, full guard and stuff like that. I think Dern is going to be way, way more willing than Jillian Robertson to do that. From everything I've heard from Jillian Robertson in this fight, from Dean Thomas, who's Jillian Robertson's coach. I know a lot of people say Dean Thomas is stupid, and low-key, I kind of agree, but I will say he's a very good coach. He's a very good coach, and he does a lot of tape study on the girls Jillian's fighting, and breaks them down really well and gives Jillian good game plans to win. Absolutely worth mentioning. He knows top position wins this fight, and damage wins this fight at the end of the day. And Dern showed she did a lot of damage with Berna, while off her back. But with the difference between the damage you can do on bottom, the damage on top is huge. And Berna doesn't do that much damage with that. But Jillian Robertson, if she gets on top, Dern might be boom, 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 elbow, boom, boom. Jillian's going to come back with some big shots as well. Have to be aware of the jiu-jitsu. I think with both girls, to be honest, I think both girls are pretty nasty at jiu-jitsu, especially Dern. But I think MMA grappling is going to beat the BJJ here. Jillian Robertson in a pure BJJ match would lose to Mackenzie Dern. Jillian Robertson would be the first person to tell you that. It's different MMA. It's different MMA. It's not the same. What else I want to talk about? I have so much more I want to talk about. I just feel it. Dern got beat up pretty bad even, which is surprising because Verna's not the best at doing that stuff. I believe in Jillian improving her wrestling too. I think her wrestling's probably continuing to improve. This is what I was going to mention. Takedown defense. Dern's super willing to go on her back and stuff like that. Jillian Robertson, I think, knows going in this fight that, okay, I'm trying to get this fight on the ground. I'm trying to be on top. We haven't really seen her takedown defense get tested too much. And I was thinking that because I heard in an interview with Mike Bond recently where she's she got a really bad double leg or something, or some takedown of sorts. Dern doesn't have a good take, which is true. Her wrestling isn't that good, to be honest. Let's be real. Great jiu-jitsu, not great wrestling. She has some good takedowns on Verna, and Verna was gassed, of course. So I bring that up because, I wouldn't be surprised if Dern maybe has some trouble taking Jillian Robertson down, and Jillian Robertson's more willing to she's not gonna pull guard like she did in the past, like she used to. If she has real trouble on the feet, okay, sure, maybe she will do that. But besides that, I think that's going to be the case. Also, another thing worth mentioning is I think it's going to be a battle. Who the hell is going to be the one advancing? I'm not sure. Both these girls don't really go back usually. So I think it's absolutely worth mentioning. Trying to think what else did I mention. I'm trying to think. There's more. Something else I wanted to mention. On the feet. Maybe Dern's able to outstrike Jillian. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a possibility. She outdogs her on the feet, just lands the bigger shots. She probably hits harder than Jillian, on the feet. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. So that's a path for Dern. But that makes me think. Want to get crazy with me? You want to get crazy with me? Let's look at a specific odd. I haven't looked at this now. I'm tempted by this because I think this is a little juicy because I think this is a very possible thing, and I think it could be crazy. Okay, now we're talking. How will fight end? What do you think about fight ends by KO in this fight? Let me explain. Maybe Dern has the potential to beat Jillian bad on the feet, break her down first ever 5 rounds for Jillian, and just really big punches. Dern should be going in this fight you cannot accept top position. You cannot accept bottom position. I don't know if she will. I think she's gonna trust her jiu-jitsu, to be honest with you. I really do think she's she has that much belief in her jiu-jitsu that she's gonna be willing to be on her back, in all honesty. Which is partly why I am picking Robertson to win this fight. But if she comes with the right game plan, and it's probably try and outdog Jillian on the feet and try and be better on the feet. You gotta do damage, and maybe Jillian goes down from ground and pound and stuff or not ground and pound, but on the feet. And Jillian herself is hittable, just as Mackenzie Dern is very hittable. She is very, very hittable. Getting marked up like that against Rona Shanchidoba, I mean, anyone can mark you up like that at the end of the day. Jillian Robertson, I mean, them elbows on top, they're nasty. They are nasty. And she's very willing to go get a ground and pound victory. She's gotten so many of those, actually. So Jillian's not going to complain about that. And I think that's a very live outcome. The fight ends by KO at plus 575. I don't mind it at the odds. I think that's kind of wild. Because both girls are absolutely live to get a TKO here, in my opinion. And actually, what is Jillian by TKO? Just out of curiosity. I'm probably not going to bet this. I like the fight by KO more. Jillian by KO plus 12. Okay. What's her by points, actually? Plus 275. Okay, they think this goes a distance. Good. But to be fair, both girls are tough. But I think it's a real possibility. But I'm going to have money on I'm money on Jillian Robertson for sure. The fight ends by KO. Barry might have like a little bit on that because I think that's pretty wild line, to be honest with you. So, yep, give me Jillian Robertson. I think she gets the job done. Islam Makhachev versus Ian Macahdo Garry. Oh my God. Here we go. I'm going Ian Garry. I think he wins this fight. I think it's going to be boring, if you ask me. I think it's going to be a staring contest. I think Ian Garry is going to want it to be a staring contest. I think he wins a staring contest. I think the movement's going to be too much, and I think this is like a real. This is the biggest guy Islam's ever fought. Actually, I am curious about one specific odd on this. What is like over like 4.5 minus 170? I don't hate that. I don't hate that actually. So I think over is probably the best bet on this fight, to be honest. I have money on Ian Garry. I do. I like a unit on him. I'm okay with that. If he loses, he loses. It is what it is. He's a big dog. Obviously, if Islam gets on top, Islam is disgusting on top. He's very, very good. I just kind of believe in Ian Garry. I think this guy's really freaking good, and I think he always comes in with good game plans. You can always rely on that with Ian Garry and good fight IQ, which I love backing good fight IQ fighters. And Ian Garry is going to give himself the best chance to win this fight. I love that he's all this insane belief in himself. And, dude, I think he's able to get the job done. Anderson Silva's streak is freaking cursed to all hell. So, I mean, I'm just saying that right now because, like, I've seen so many times when someone's about to break that Anderson Silva streak or tie it, and just something crazy happens that makes no sense at all. Obviously, not a reason I'm picking Garry to win this fight. But yeah, I think the length, the range, the speed is going to be huge for Garry here. I feel bad for the JDM in his last fight against Islam because I feel like we were robbed of the fight we were going to get because this is credit to Islam. Islam won that fight with his leg kicks because JDM's legs were done and he couldn't scramble at all. And he was planning on scrambling all fight, but he couldn't scramble. He just literally couldn't do it. So it is what it is. Ian Garry's got to make sure he don't get destroyed to legs and stuff like that. Got to make sure his takedown defense is on point. I just believe in Ian Garry. Like he's really good. He's getting better. He's still really young. Islam's almost at the 35-year-old curse, which is not really a curse at this point because it's been beaten so many times now the past like year or two. Still getting older in age. I don't know. Islam's still very good on the feet too, so it's not like it's gonna be a blowout. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a staring contest. I think that neither guy's gonna be willing to throw too much. Reason why I don't think Gary's gonna throw too much because I think he's like, okay, I know Islam's grappling is very legit. Let's keep this on the feet. And anytime it's on the feet and it's like a really slow fight, I got a big chance to win this because I'm very good at pointing people, which he is. He is really good at pointing people. So, yeah, I'm going Ian Garry. I think he has the ability to outpoint Islam Makhachev. And, yeah, I'm taking a shot on him to win this fight. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my picks. Let's go over each fight again. More 6 strikes, more takedowns for each one. Let's go over it. Orobai, Wells, Orobai, more takedowns all day. As well as goes for, I don't even know, bro. And more 6 strikes, I'll go Orobai because, I mean, Wells doesn't really throw that much to begin with. And I get Orobai probably just gets a bunch of ground and pound off. Neil Magny, Ramiz Brahimaj. I'll go Neil Magny, more 6 strikes because I think this fight extends. And if it extends, he's probably going to be landing more because Brahimaj is going to just fall off a cliff. More takedowns. Interesting. I mean, I guess Magny because Brahimaj doesn't really have a good wrestling game to like set up anything. So I have to go Magny, but I don't think Magny will do anything like that. So, yeah. This one's easy. Fernando, more 6 strikes, more takedowns. Rafael Tobias, binary matchup for the most part. Vicente Luque, Tresean Gore is interesting. I guess Luque more takedowns. I think he's more likely to go to takedowns here than Gore. But I wouldn't bet that. Gore has really good takedown defense. I mean, he took down Makhachev, I guess, too. Gore, so worth mentioning. More 6 strikes is also interesting because, I mean, honestly, kind of both guys have been low volume as of late. I'll go Gore because I think he hurts Luque in ground and pounds, but I won't bet that either. Dante Johnson, Eric Macahdo. Another interesting one. I'll go more 6 strikes and more takedowns, Dante Johnson. So I think he gets a relatively quick finish, but I don't feel great about that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Macahdo just outpoints him. Jalen Turner, Cal Fernandez. Turner, more takedowns for sure. Cal takes down Jalen. I don't know what he's doing. And more 6 strikes. I'm going to go Jalen Turner because Cal is not even like that big of a volume guy, to be honest. It's kind of leg kicks and like long loopy punches. They're not that great. So 6 strikes should be Jalen Turner. Chidi Njokuani, Joel Alvarez. More takedowns, Joel Alvarez for sure. I don't know why Chidi would go for any takedowns here. More 6 strikes. I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani because I think he's going to be able to find his range, keep the fight for at least a period of time to rack up some 6 strikes on Joel Alvarez to go ahead and do that. Edson Barboza, Esteban Ribovics, more 6 strikes. Ribovics, just way more volume from him at this. Like, his volume is insane. More takedowns. Edson, I don't think Ribovics is going for no takedowns on anyone. So, yep. Mitzvah Abdul Malik, Dustin Stoltzfus, more 6 strikes. Mansour, more takedowns. Mansour, I think he should be able to do both of those, no problem. Charles Johnson, Ochoa more 6 strikes because he just throws a lot more. More takedowns, probably Charles Johnson. I think he's going to be more willing to get this fight to the ground than Ochoa is. But I won't be shocked if Ochoa just does it. Jillian Robertson, Mackenzie Dern, interesting one. More 6 strikes, it could be weird. I'll go Jillian because I think she gets a ground and pound, but not crazy about that. But more takedowns, I do feel pretty good about Jillian Robertson in this one. So I think Dern is going to be way more willing to go on her back than Jillian is. And Islam Makhachev, Ian Macahdo Garry, more takedowns, Islam all day. We know this. And then I'm going to go Ian Garry, more 6 strikes, but it's probably going to be close margins in terms of like 6 strikes. So, yep. That's it. Those are my thoughts. Let's go. So, bets on this card, I definitely have Esteban Ribovics. I like his money line. Probably him by finish is also really good. Or not really good, but you know what I mean. It's fine. Ochoa, I like a good amount as well. Jalen Turner, I like a good amount. I like Jillian, like of the 2 underdogs in the main events, like main and co-main event, I like Jillian a lot more than I do Garry. I'm not gonna have like a crazy amount on Jillian, but I think she can absolutely get the job done. Financed by KO in that fight, the Jillian Robertson Dern fight, I think is an interesting look. A bet I like as well. Ian Garry, I think is a good look. Probably the over is a good look. I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it at this point. Maybe the go to decision. Maybe. What else? Dante Johnson, KO, I think is fine. Tresean Gore to win, I think is fine. Maybe Rafael Tobias I can be talked into. Maybe Magny I can get talked into. Maybe like a Magny over 1.5 or something like that because it's probably his win condition. Like, get over 1.5. It's a Magny show all day from there. Yeah, I think those are the ones that stand out to me. Maybe mechanical decision only. Yeah, maybe like a Gore KO bet to like fade the sub, but he could absolutely sub. Mansour by finish, maybe like KO, I think is probably fine as well. And Ochoa by finish is probably fine. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts. So, yep, if I have any big changes in mind or something like that, I'll put it in the comments below. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. You can check out my bets and stuff like that at betmma.tips, champ bets, and yeah, very fun card. I'm very excited for this one. And what do we have next week? Out of curiosity, oh my god, the Sacramento card. That's gonna be a really fun one. There's a lot of fun fights on there that I really like, and I like that card a lot more for bets than this one. So we'll be getting into that one coming up, and I cannot wait. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Peace. Have a great one.